There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that waiting for someone else to change their future is the slowest path to success. Teachers can guide you. Mentors can inspire you. Books can open your mind. Friends can encourage you. But no one can do the learning for you. The most powerful decision you will ever make is to become your own greatest teacher. The day you take full responsibility for your education is the day your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. Many people believe that learning ends when school is over. They think education belongs inside classrooms, behind desks, and within the pages of textbooks. The truth is completely different. The greatest education happens when no one is watching. It happens early in the morning when you choose to read instead of scrolling through distractions. It happens late at night when you spend another 30 minutes understanding a new skill instead of making excuses. It happens when curiosity becomes stronger than comfort. That is where real growth begins. Every successful person reaches a point where they stop asking, "Who will teach me?" and start asking, "What can I teach myself today?" That simple question changes everything. It transforms you from someone who depends on opportunities into someone who creates them. It replaces helplessness with confidence. It replaces waiting with action. It reminds you that every single day offers a chance to become wiser than you were yesterday. The world is filled with information. Books, podcasts, documentaries, online courses, interviews, research papers, and life experiences are available to anyone willing to seek them. Never before has knowledge been so accessible. The challenge is no longer finding information. The challenge is developing the discipline to study it consistently. Your future will not be determined by how much information exists around you. It will be determined by how much of that knowledge you choose to absorb and apply. Becoming your own teacher also means becoming your own student. A good student never believes they know everything. They remain humble enough to ask questions, brave enough to admit mistakes, and determined enough to improve every single day. Growth begins where pride ends. The moment you believe there is nothing left to learn is the moment your progress starts to slow down. The wisest people are often the ones who remain the most curious. Curiosity is a powerful force. It pushes you to explore ideas that others ignore. It encourages you to understand different perspectives instead of judging them. It allows you to see possibilities where others only see problems. Every question you ask opens another door. Every answer leads to another discovery. This endless cycle of learning keeps your mind alive, flexible, and prepared for opportunities that others may never recognize. There will be days when studying feels difficult. You may feel tired. You may feel discouraged. You may wonder if your efforts are making any difference. During those moments, remember that every page you read, every note you write, and every lesson you practice is an investment in the person you are becoming. Just because progress is invisible today does not mean it is not happening. A tree grows underground before anyone sees it rise above the surface. Your knowledge works the same way. It develops quietly until one day the results become impossible to ignore. Do not compare your learning journey with someone else's timeline. Every person starts from a different place. Some learn quickly. Others learn slowly. Some have more resources. Others have more determination. What matters is not how fast you move. What matters is that you never stop moving. Consistency will always outperform occasional bursts of motivation. A little learning every day creates extraordinary wisdom over time. The greatest teacher you will ever have is your own experience. Every success teaches confidence. Every failure teaches resilience. Every challenge teaches strength. Every disappointment teaches patience. If you are willing to reflect instead of complain, every season of life becomes a classroom. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single shift in thinking transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Be intentional about what you allow into your mind. Your thoughts are shaped by what you repeatedly consume. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to conversations that expand your understanding. Spend time with people who inspire you to become better. Protect your attention because your attention shapes your future. Every lesson you choose today becomes part of the person you will be tomorrow. When you become your own greatest teacher, you no longer fear change because you know you can learn. You no longer fear failure because you know every mistake carries a lesson. You no longer fear the future because you trust your ability to grow with every challenge. Knowledge gives you confidence, but continuous learning gives you freedom. The more you teach yourself, the less you depend on circumstances to determine your success. You become stronger, wiser, more adaptable, and more prepared for every opportunity that life places before you. That is the true power of becoming your own greatest teacher, and it is a decision you can make every single day. Success is rarely the result of one extraordinary day. It is the product of hundreds of ordinary days used wisely. Many people spend their lives waiting for a breakthrough, believing that one big opportunity, one lucky moment, or one perfect decision will completely transform their future. While opportunities do matter, they usually arrive for the people who have quietly prepared for them through consistent learning. Small daily learning may seem insignificant at first, but over time it creates extraordinary results that can completely change the direction of your life. Think about the power of a single drop of water. One drop seems too small to matter. Yet when water continues to fall in the same place day after day, month after month, and year after year, it can shape solid rock. Learning works the same way. Reading a few pages each day may not make you an expert overnight. Practicing a skill for 20 minutes may not immediately change your career. Listening to one educational podcast may not instantly transform your mindset. However, when these small actions are repeated consistently, they create knowledge, confidence, and wisdom that become impossible to ignore. The greatest mistake people make is underestimating the value of small improvements. They want dramatic change, but they overlook simple habits. They chase shortcuts instead of building strong foundations. Real transformation is built quietly. Every time you choose to learn something new instead of wasting time, you strengthen your future. Every lesson becomes another brick in the foundation of the life you are creating. One brick may seem unimportant, but thousands of bricks can build something remarkable. Daily learning also trains your mind to remain active and adaptable. The world changes quickly. New technologies appear, industries evolve, and skills that were valuable yesterday may become outdated tomorrow. Those who continue learning remain prepared for change instead of fearing it. They become flexible thinkers who can solve problems, adapt to challenges, and recognize opportunities that others overlook. Learning every day keeps your mind fresh, creative, and ready for whatever the future brings. Many people believe they do not have enough time to study. They imagine learning requires hours of uninterrupted focus. In reality, even 15 or 20 minutes each day can produce incredible long-term results. Reading 10 pages a day may not seem impressive, but by the end of a year you could finish dozens of books. Learning one new concept each day may feel small, but after 12 months you will have gained hundreds of valuable ideas. The secret is not finding more time. The secret is making better use of the time you already have. Imagine two people beginning the same journey. One decides to improve just 1% every day. The other waits until they feel motivated before making any effort. At first, there seems to be little difference between them. Weeks pass and both appear to be making similar progress. Months later, however, the gap becomes obvious. One has developed new skills, greater confidence, and deeper understanding. The other is still waiting for the perfect moment to begin. Motivation comes and goes, but daily discipline creates lasting results. Learning is not only about gathering information, it is about changing the way you think. Every new idea challenges old beliefs. Every new perspective expands your understanding. Every lesson teaches you to solve problems more effectively. As your thinking improves, your decisions improve. Better decisions lead to better habits. Better habits create better results. Your entire life begins to change because your mind has changed first. There will be days when progress feels invisible. You may study for weeks without noticing dramatic improvement. You may practice a skill and still feel like a beginner. During those moments, it is important to remember that growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible. A seed spends time developing strong roots before it grows into a tree. If it rushed the process, it would never survive the storms. Your learning journey follows the same principle. Every lesson strengthens your foundation, even when you cannot immediately see the results. Do not allow comparison to steal your motivation. Someone else may appear to learn faster, achieve success sooner, or possess greater natural talent. None of that should distract you from your own path. The only comparison that truly matters is between the person you were yesterday and the person you are becoming today. If you know a little more, think a little better, and act a little wiser than you did before, then you are making meaningful progress. Daily learning also builds confidence. Confidence does not come from pretending to know everything. It comes from knowing that you are capable of learning whatever life requires. When you regularly challenge yourself to understand new ideas, your fear of the unknown begins to disappear. Problems become puzzles instead of obstacles. Challenges become opportunities instead of threats. You stop doubting your ability because you have proven to yourself day after day that growth is always possible. Another beautiful truth about consistent learning is that it inspires others. Your discipline encourages your family, your friends, and even strangers who observe your commitment. People are naturally drawn to those who never stop improving themselves. They recognize the quiet strength that comes from continuous growth. Without saying a word, your habits become an example that reminds others of what is possible through dedication and persistence. Never believe that today's effort is too small to matter. Every page you read, every note you take, every question you ask, and every skill you practice is preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. The extraordinary life you dream of is not built through occasional moments of greatness. It is built through ordinary days filled with consistent learning, focused effort, and unwavering commitment. Keep learning, even when no one notices. Keep growing, even when progress feels slow. Keep believing that every small lesson has value. Because one day you will look back and realize that the small daily decisions you once considered insignificant became the very reason you achieved extraordinary results. Knowledge is one of the greatest treasures a person can possess, but knowledge alone has never changed a life. Libraries are filled with books containing incredible wisdom. The internet holds millions of lessons, ideas, and strategies. Every day, people watch inspiring videos, listen to powerful speeches, and read life-changing advice. Yet many remain exactly where they started. The reason is simple. Information has power only when it is transformed into action. Knowledge changes your life only when you apply it. Until then, it is simply stored potential waiting to be used. Many people confuse learning with growing. They believe that because they have read a book or completed a course, they have already changed. The truth is that learning begins with information, but transformation begins with action. Reading about discipline will not make you disciplined. Studying leadership will not make you a leader. Watching videos about success will not make you successful. Those things provide direction, but only your daily actions determine your destination. The distance between who you are today and who you want to become is crossed through consistent application, not endless preparation. Imagine someone who spends years reading about fitness. They know every healthy food, every exercise routine, and every scientific fact about the human body. They can explain nutrition perfectly and describe the benefits of regular exercise in great detail. However, if they never step into a gym, never take a walk, and never change their eating habits, their knowledge does nothing for their health. Another person may know far less, but they exercise consistently, eat wisely, and apply what they have learned every single day. Which person will experience real transformation? The answer is obvious. Action always gives life to knowledge. The same principle applies to every area of life. You can study communication, but unless you practice listening with patience and speaking with kindness, your relationships will not improve. You can learn about financial wisdom, but unless you budget, save, and invest responsibly, your financial future will remain unchanged. You can read about confidence, but unless you face your fears and step outside your comfort zone, confidence will remain a theory instead of a reality. Every lesson must become a habit before it becomes a result. One of the biggest obstacles to applying knowledge is the desire for perfection. Many people wait until they feel completely ready before they take action. They believe they need one more book, one more course, or one more seminar before they begin. In reality, perfection is an illusion that keeps people trapped in endless preparation. You do not need to know everything before taking your first step. You simply need to know enough to begin. Progress belongs to those who are willing to learn while moving forward, not to those who spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment. Mistakes are an essential part of applying knowledge. Some people avoid action because they fear failure. They worry that if they make the wrong decision, all their effort will be wasted. Yet every successful person understands that mistakes are not proof of inability. They are proof that learning is taking place. Every failure teaches a lesson that no book can fully explain. Experience gives depth to knowledge. When you apply what you have learned, you discover what works, what does not, and how to improve. That is how wisdom is built. Another powerful truth is that applied knowledge creates confidence. Confidence does not come from collecting certificates or memorizing facts. It comes from seeing yourself overcome challenges through action. Every time you use what you have learned, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth. Every small victory strengthens your belief in your own abilities. Over time, that confidence becomes part of your character. It allows you to face greater challenges with courage because you know you have developed the skills to handle them. Your daily habits reveal whether knowledge has truly become part of your life. It is easy to say that health is important, but your habits tell the real story. It is easy to speak about kindness, discipline, honesty, or perseverance, but your actions reveal what you genuinely believe. Applied knowledge shapes your routines, influences your choices, and defines your character. The principles you practice become the values that guide your life. Do not underestimate the impact of small actions. You do not need to make dramatic changes overnight. Applying one lesson each day is enough to create extraordinary progress over time. If you read about gratitude, practice gratitude today. If you learn about time management, organize your schedule today. If you discover a better way to communicate, use those words in your next conversation. Small actions performed consistently have the power to produce remarkable results. Great achievements are rarely created through one giant leap. They are built through thousands of meaningful steps taken with purpose. There will be moments when applying what you know feels uncomfortable. Growth always requires leaving familiar habits behind. You may feel uncertain when trying something new. You may face criticism from people who are unwilling to change themselves. You may even fail a few times before seeing success. Do not let discomfort stop you. Every meaningful improvement begins with courage. The willingness to act despite uncertainty is what separates dreamers from achievers. Remember that knowledge is a gift, but responsibility comes with every lesson you learn. Once you know a better way, you also have the opportunity to live a better way. Every book you read, every mentor you listen to, every experience you gain, and every lesson you discover becomes an invitation to grow. Accept that invitation with action, not just admiration. Let your knowledge shape your decisions, your habits, your relationships, and your purpose. Do not allow wisdom to remain trapped inside notebooks, bookmarks, or memories. Bring it into your everyday life through consistent effort and intentional action. Because in the end, the people who transform their lives are not those who know the most. They are the ones who faithfully apply what they know, one decision, one habit, and one day at a time. And is he here? As this message comes to an end, remember one simple truth that has the power to transform your entire life. Your future is not determined by how many schools you attended, how many certificates you own, or how much talent you were born with. Your future is shaped by what you choose to learn every single day, and more importantly, by what you choose to do with what you learn. The greatest investment you will ever make is the investment you make in your own mind. No one can take away the knowledge you earn, the wisdom you build, or the discipline you develop through consistent self-study. Become your own greatest teacher. Never stop asking questions. Never stop searching for better answers. Never believe that you have learned enough, because the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Stay curious. Stay humble. Stay open to new ideas. Every book you read, every lesson you study, and every challenge you overcome is preparing you for opportunities that have not yet arrived. Remember that extraordinary success is never built in a single day. It is built one page at a time, one lesson at a time, one habit at a time, and one decision at a time. The smallest daily improvements may seem invisible today, but they are quietly shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Never underestimate the power of consistent effort. The person who learns a little every day will eventually surpass the person who only learns when they feel inspired. Most importantly, do not let your knowledge remain trapped inside your mind. Put it into action. Let every lesson become a habit. Let every insight become a decision. Let every new idea become a step forward. Knowledge without action creates regret, but knowledge combined with action creates confidence, wisdom, and lasting success. The life you dream about is not waiting for you to know everything. It is waiting for you to begin. From this day forward, make a promise to yourself. Study every day, even if it is only for a few minutes. Read one more page. Learn one new idea. Practice one new skill. Reflect on one lesson. Improve one small habit. These simple choices repeated consistently will create a future that once seemed impossible. 1 year from now, you will either wish you had started today, or you will be grateful that you did. Your greatest competition is not the people around you. It is the person you were yesterday. Your mission is not to impress others. It is to become stronger, wiser, more disciplined, and more valuable with every passing day. Every sunrise brings a new opportunity to grow. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback contains wisdom. Every day is another chance to become the best version of yourself. So walk away from this message with a new commitment. Feed your mind with knowledge. Guard your time with discipline. Apply what you learn with courage. Keep moving forward when progress feels slow. Trust the process because every small step is leading you towards something greater. The journey of self-study never truly ends, and that is its greatest gift. The more you learn, the more you discover your true potential. Start today. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Learn every day. Grow every day. Improve every day. Because when you make self-study a lifelong habit, you are not just changing your knowledge. You are changing your future, your character, your purpose, and ultimately your entire life.